So in order for you not to miss out, I think this is the best time to tell you to subscribe to the channel and then click the bell icon so that you'll always be notified when I release a video, so that you'll not be behind. Okay, let's continue. Now for the Mac users, you quickly go to Chrome, and the first thing we need to do is to install Python. So that means we have to go to the official website of Python, python.org/downloads, and this is the official website, and this is the latest version which I'll want you to install. You click on this to install Python 3.7 whatever you have here, 3.7.x or something, or Python 6 will work for this course, but it is advisable to use Python 3.7 something. Don't use Python 2 for this course. So I'll click to download that. Okay, it's downloading. As you can see, it's about 26 MB. Alright, as you can see, Python is done downloading. What I have to do now is to double click on it to get it installed. Let me bring this here so you can see. Okay, so this is what we have for the Mac users. Now you have to just click on continue. You can go through this if you want to. I've gone through that. If you can go through it as well. And then you can also read the license and try to understand it so that you understand everything they are talking about. Like I said, I've gone through it as well. I've read it. Okay, I click on agree to continue. If you disagree, then you're not agreeing to the license. Now it's telling me it's going to take a specific amount of space, and I have that space, so I'll click on continue. It's requesting for my password, and that's that. It will install. So we are done installing Python, as you can see, and I can now close this. It is installed on my machine. I click on close. I don't need that file, the installer, so I'll move to trash. Now you can see it came with a couple of things, of which we have this. This is a text editor that comes with the package. I'll bring this here so you can see as well. Let me make this bigger. We can immediately begin to write our codes here. Print hello world. Everybody starts with that. I don't know the reason, but now I click on enter. This has we have this, but this is not this is not the text editor we're going to be using. So I'll close this up. There are a couple of things. You have the license and all that here, so I'll close this as well. For my text editor, there are lots of text editors out there, but preferably I am going to use Visual Code, VS Code, Visual Studio. This is what I'm going to be using, and this is their website, and it has detected my machine, and this is what I have here, this Visual Studio Code. I'll install this one. Okay, it's about 69 MB, about 66 MB rather. So it is a zip file. So what we have to do is we unzip that file, and we have the code here in my downloads folder. We have the code. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just copy this. It's an application, and I'll simply move it to the applications folder, and that's all for installing the Visual Studio Code. Okay, I'll just simply Visual Studio Code, and this is what will happen. It will try to verify, and it's telling us that we downloaded it from the internet. Are we sure we want to open it? Yes, we want to open it. Alright, I had to uninstall everything so I can install everything afresh, so you get to see. All right, now this is opened. I'll try to explain some of these things here. The first thing I'll want us to look at is here. If we click on this, we have this pane which opens for us. We can open a folder from here. We're going to be using some of these, but I want you to come to this place here where we search for extensions, and I want you to search for Python. And let's see this first one. Okay, this is the one we're looking for. You can see it has about 27 million downloads. So we install it, and when you're done installing it, you reload your machine, and that is that. And I'll also want you to hold your command and your shift and P, and then you type install code in command path. I want you to click on that as well, so you see this. I'll tell you the reason when we continue. So that is that for the installation. Let's see how we can run a Python code now using this. I'll create a file easily. I'll quickly create a file by clicking on file, new file. Okay, I'll save that on my desktop. Okay, I'll just make something here. Let's call this one I'll just save here hello.py. That's the extension for saving Python file. You have to save it .py, and you save. And then let's type something, print bracket open. It does that for you, hello world, and we save this. Let's run this in our terminal. So if you're using your machine, you just go to your terminal, and this is what we have here. We have to go into our desktop. I'll explain some of these things to you. And Python, you have to include Python 3, because if you know that the Mac machine comes pre-installed with Python 2.7, so you have to indicate Python 3. And then I saved it hello.py, and you can see it has been printed. What we have here is printed. But on the other hand, if you hold your control, your shift, and your backtick sign, the symbol that is above the tab, you'll have a terminal open for you here. Let's see where we are. So we have to go into desktop, and Python hello.py, and it runs for you, same thing. So I'll explain some of this when we talk about command lines. I'll explain some of this to you, so you get to understand what's happening here. Okay, now for the Android users, this is what you are going to do. You go to your Android device. I have one here already. Let me make sure you can see that. I'll close some of these so we will not be distracted. Okay, for our Android users, I'll want you to go to Play Store, and I'll want you to type PyDroid 3. I want you to install this. I've checked, there are lots of them there. I've checked most of them, and I think this one is one of the best. And you click on install to install that. And it's installing. It will take a moment, and we're done. Now let's open that and see what we have here. It's still now going to install the Python interpreter. So you should have at least about 100 MB on your phone, so you can, that's memory, so you can be able to install this as well. Okay, now this is what we have here. We can print same thing, hello world, and we run that by clicking this, and you see we have that. If you want to save, you click on this. I think this I didn't. Okay, yeah, this is it. If you want to save this, you click on this, and it will, you know how you access your phone. This is just what I just did to be able to make you see how you can use your Android phone as well. So this is where we set up our Windows machine for the course. The first thing we're going to do is to come to python.org/downloads, and then when we get there, we click on this download button. That is the latest version for Windows. Ensure you have Windows here, though it will automatically detect, but if it doesn't, you can come here to click the one you want and you download. Now what you have to do is you click on this download button for it to begin downloading. I'm not going to download it because I already downloaded that to save time. So but for you, you just have to click on save and it will start downloading. And then the next thing you need to download is gitbash. That you have to come to git4windows.org to download that, and then you click on this download button, which I'm not going to download as well. Like I said, I already downloaded it before I began to record. Then finally, you need to download Visual Studio Code by coming to code.visualstudio.com, and you click on this. If you're looking for another platform, you can download that from here. So I already have them downloaded here. So we click on that to begin installation, and I want you to click on this add Python 3.7 to path. Ensure you click on this, and then you go to customize installation. I just want to ensure that something is checked. You click on next. Ensure that this add Python to environment variable is also checked as well, and then you can install. Alright, so we are done with installation of Python. We close this, and the next thing we're going to install is Visual Studio Code. And we click on next. We accept the terms and conditions. Next, it requires a specific amount of space, and if you want to create an icon for the desktop, you do that here. Otherwise, you can leave it blank, it's your choice, but ensure this is checked, and then you click on install. Now that we are done with installation, we need to launch it, because there's one extension I would want to install, which I would also want you to install. Okay, this is what we have here. I would want you to come to this place where you install and you put extension, and I want you to search for Python. The first one, let's see. Yes, this is the one, about 27 million downloads. You install that as well. While we wait for that to get installed, let's install our last, which is gitbash. So you click on it to install that. You just have to click on next. I did not uninstall this one, but just let's assume I uninstalled it and we continue. Everything, you just click on next and you install it. So in the next video, where we talk about the command line fundamentals, instead of using your command prompt, I would want you to use this, because this is what we are going to be using throughout the course to run our Python script. Or we can also do that here. So this has been installed. What we have to do is reload it so it will begin to work. So another thing is that we are going to be running our Python code from here. So the best way we can do that is, because there is a terminal here, you can either click on this and you go to new terminal, it will open for you here, or I'll close this again. You hold down your control and your tilde key, which is the key above your tab. It will open for you. That is the shortcut for that. So you can see we can write whatever we are working on here, ls to list everything that we have. We are going to talk about this in the next video. So that is that on the installation. Let's see if this other one. All right, this is done. Let's see what we have here. I'll type the same thing which I did here, ls, and you see that the same we have here is the same thing we have here. So that's that for the setup.